Hello my dear and faithful viewers, I am your German snob and I welcome you all back to another episode of Let's Play Deus Ex Human Revolution. Alright, now in the last episode we had a whole load of objectives heaped onto us, so I'll do my best to work them up in order. But first, there is another thing in this apartment right here that we can do. Because Jensen has a secret stash in here. And this is the terminal to open it up. Now as you can see we already have the code, so let's just type it in. How did I manage to... We're off to a great start. Anyway, yeah, like that. Open up. Yep. Just like that. Now, what does he have in there? Mostly ammo, very little of which I need, because... well, you know, I happen to not use that kind of ammo. Playing non-lethal and stuff. But also an automatic unlocking device, which is nice to have, I suppose. Some money, which is nice to have, I know. An explosive, and you never know when you need one. And as far as I can tell, that's really it. Now in the upper shelf there's also some medicine, but it doesn't look like we can pick it up. So that's really all we can use here. And just to be tidy, let's close it again. Yep. You know, those are some pretty odd lights. Like, what kind of interior designer would ever think that these would be a good decision to install in an apartment? I don't know. Of course, I personally am not an interior designer, so...
See you soon, Mr. Jensen.
Yeah, you too. So, I am not one to judge. I am just gonna go back down, rather, and then work off my objectives. Now, as I said, which order do I want to do it in? Probably the order we got them. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Very much so. But first things first, gonna leave the apartment building. Anyone we can talk to here? No.
I'll see you later. Refused our repeated requests for an interview.
No, not really. Well then, I'm out again. And here we are.
Jensen, I'd appreciate it if you instructed your street informants to use more conventional means of contacting you.
What are you talking about, Pritchard?
I mean, I found a message stapled to your door. Colo, alley off Bagley Avenue, Ezekiel. How cryptic.
That's near Seraph HQ. I'll look into it. Oh, and it's Cholo.
Indeed it is. In case you couldn't remember, that was the terrorist leader that we spared back in the factory, in the manufacturing plant. As he himself said, he still owes us one, and... well, he wants to pay his debt. Do us a favor. Which is why we should actually go and talk to him. But we are gonna do that later. We have more urgent things to attend to. I think I want to go to that apartment. In all likelihood. Which means I should hack this keypad. I'm sure there are other means to do this. In fact, I'm pretty positive that there are other means to do this. But you know what? Hacking will get us some experience points, so that's what I'm gonna do. Here we go. Well, don't have much of a choice, do we? So first, take in that one, fortify this. Fortify this too, take in that one then. Then take in that one. And then take in that one.
Access granted.
See, that wasn't hard. Which I would say hacking in this game generally isn't. But it can get so later on. Thing is, you shouldn't get too confident and stuff. Looks like there are 2 side quests I can do here. One has to do with retrieving data, and the other one has to do with something else. So let's get in there first. Hack another door. Same thing we've already seen. Maybe I should consider cutting that kind of thing out. But on the other hand, I don't know, it is part of the gameplay. Hop, let's take that one in. Let's take that one in too. And last, let's take that one in.
Access granted.
That wasn't hard, but then it also was only a level 1 door. Tyndall's apartment, investigate Tyndall's computer. Looks like another thing to hack. At least provided that we won't find his password nearby. Which isn't entirely unlikely, but I don't know. You will find that all the other apartments that are not our own look mostly the same. Just as those newspaper clippings look mostly the same, mostly because they are. But as you can see, there are also conventional magazines, even though the texture resolution is very low. Cardboard box. In the original Deus Ex you could destroy those. In this one you can probably too by some means, but you know, the original Deus Ex, unlike this game, had melee weapons. You know, it had like knives, at least I think so. Around halfway through the game you got the you win the game sword, at which point the game got entirely trivial. It also had a baton, I think. Also, you can read this. As far as I can tell, it's about how Detroit became a big hub of industry again. Basically the center of augmentation industry, which is fairly interesting if you care for these. Hey, the computer isn't even locked. Well, what an idiot. New access code. That is not the most creative one I've ever seen. 0002. And the data we need. As always, you can read it. I know I'm missing out on some context by just skimming those.
I need my new puzzle! Shit, you're going down!
That's not what I... Yeah, that was a bit bad how this worked out, wasn't it? Sorry. I realized too late that there was a guy right outside the door. Nor did I realize he had a shotgun. But I can take care of that. Look, he's down now. So it looks like the tenant of this apartment was selling medication to addicts. At least that's what I got. As I said, by skimming these emails I miss out on some context, or rather I'll only get it later once I go through the video again. But does he have anything on him? A PDA. What does it say? Yeah, as I said, was selling medication to addicts. Which is why one of them broke into his apartment. So maybe he should have thought about that for a bit longer. It should have been obvious that nothing good would come from this. But, well, it's too late to scold him for that now. I wanna go up, don't I? It would seem that way. It's a bit hard to get the objective straight. I don't really know what I have to do in the next one. Just a corridor. And here I thought that this was the one where we could use that access code, but no, we have to hack it again. That's what I'm gonna do then. Fortify this, take in this. Then fortify 2 and take in this simultaneously, and this 2, and then fortify this. And then capture this.
Access granted.
This gets us an item, a so-called stop worm. What it does is it stops the security measures once we are discovered while we're hacking. Which means that we get some additional time. A lot of additional time, actually. Find at least one piece of incriminating evidence. Well, aren't we lucky that none of the tenants of those apartments are actually home while we break into them? That's awfully fortunate. And there is a PDA just kind of hidden there behind some books. These are the lodgings you will occupy for the duration of this operation. You will notice a door with a security lock on it. The code word lock is 1029. Uh-huh. Well, we're gonna open that then. Could a gun count as incriminating evidence? I kinda doubt it. Uh-huh, yeah, I already know that. And against my better knowledge, I always check out security note, these newspaper clippings anyway. Just for the chance that they might tell me something new, but they never do. Okay, we can type in the code. In fact, it's our only choice. We couldn't hack it anyway. It's too high a security level for that. What do you say about that? This place is mine. Almost killed me, didn't it? Yes, it did. Now, fortunately, they go off way before I'm actually in their proximity. Yeah. A package of drugs. That is rather incriminating. Now, what the hell is that? Crossbow arrows. That's not as incriminating, but there is at least a certain chance that I'll use a crossbow at some point. There's not a pretty good chance for it, because it doesn't really gel well with my whole non-lethal thing, but as I said, a chance. You know, the non-lethal weapon in the original Deus Ex actually was a crossbow that fired tranquilizer darts. Taking out enemies non-lethally was very different in the original Deus Ex than this in this one. Like in this one, they didn't go unconscious immediately, but unlike in this one, they didn't just go their way, but actually ran around like headless chickens if they were hit. Probably alerting some of their friends, which made that kind of a hassle. Security rating free, yeah, not a chance. But there is a pretty good chance that I can hack this. Here I go. Well, looks like a fairly linear affair. Take in this one, fortify this too, take in this one. Then fortify this one too, then take in this one. Then fortify this. The alarm doesn't even go off. Fortify this one, take in this one. Ah, now it does, but we have plenty of time. Fortify this one. And take in this one.
Access granted.
Anything on there? Yep, the same thing about the security gates. Well, it would make sense that all the tenants of the buildings would get that message. An email that you can read. And something from FEMA. Which, as I understand, is a real-life agency for disaster prevention, or something like that, or for to provide help in the case of a natural disaster and these things. To be perfectly honest, I'm not entirely familiar with it, but I do know that it's kind of a favorite for conspiracy theorists, Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think there is some sort of ruling that in case of a disaster would give them the ability to act outside of the law. As I said, my knowledge of that is spotty at best, but that's as far as I know about them. I don't know, I'm just gonna leave this apartment before I embarrass myself further with my half knowledge. I do wonder if there are other apartments I could break into, but it's probably not worth the effort. Let's be honest about this. However, I do want to say if there is see if there is anything on the roof. Now how do I get down there? There's a ladder. Well, that's good. Well, at best this would have been an alternative way to break into the building. But seeing how the front door is, well, okay, we could have avoided hacking it, but it's not like that would have been necessary. Now let's talk to the guy. For reasons that I am only half familiar with, because, as I said, I have to skim all the text. Hey, how about you?
Jensen? What are you doing here?
I think you know why I'm here, Tyndall. I want Corella's security footage back.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm Seraph Industries' chief of security. I'm pretty sure I can find out about an edited security tape, so don't bullshit me.
Ah, shit. Listen, Jensen, I never wanted things to get this bad. I'm not a bad guy. I feel for Corella, I really do. But sometimes, for a good cause, you have to get your hands dirty.
Oh, there's a good cause now?
Oh, I see. You think I'm selling the stuff, right? I understand why this would seem like an obvious motive, especially to an ex-cop. But trust me, you shouldn't always take things at face value. I'm selling the neuropazine. I'm giving it away.
Giving it away? To who?
To the people who need it. You think everyone gets augmented by choice? No. Shit happens. And then what? You're saddled with neuropazine injections for the rest of your life, and that shit costs money. But what choice do you have? Without the drug, you'll die. Rejection syndrome, crippling pain, that just ain't right. So I did the only decent thing to do. I stepped up.
Yeah, let's empathize. There is no reason to antagonize him. He means well.
I can respect that. But blackmail is still blackmail. Corella wants out, and I'm here to make sure he gets out.
Man, this whole thing is becoming way too much trouble. I've even got 2 local pushers on my back because they say my philanthropic actions are undercutting their profit.
That's not your only problem. A gun-toting client was waiting for you in your apartment earlier.
Really? In my apartment? Shit, the dealers probably sent him. Tell you what, I'll deal with the client later. You take care of the dealers, and the footage is yours.
Sure, it's not like I didn't have already enough objectives already.
Okay, I'll help you out. But you better not be playing me.
You give me way too much credit, Jensen. I'm a security tech, not a hardened mobster. The 2 pushers go by the name PG and BK. They hang out in the alley near the basketball court. Just make sure they never bother me again.
Should I kill them or,
You're asking me to kill them.
Well, that's a bit drastic, isn't it? But it's your call, as long as you leave me alone. The important thing is you need to take care of both of them.
I'm not gonna kill them. That just seems unnecessary. It really does. So let's see if there is a more peaceful resolution to this. I'm pretty sure if all else fails, putting a tranquilizer round into them will always work. Right? Well, I'm sure of that, and they should be just right around that corner. Maybe it would be smart to get to a vantage point. Yes. A vantage point indeed. I mean, I could also try talking to them or some of that gay stuff. But no. I prefer the tranquilizer round. put it right into their heads. 1 and 2. See, that wasn't that hard. Not at all. I completely forgot how to put away weapons, but I'll remember it eventually, no problem. So you don't mind me, just passing through here with a tranquilizer rifle. Pretty sure there's nothing suspicious about that. Hey, I took care of your dealer problem. I don't know how tranquilizing them took care of it, but here you go.
Don't kill me, man! Whatever I did, I'm sorry. Look, I told you. If you want me to give you that security footage, you're going to have to get the...
Yeah, sure. I've taken care of them.
I've taken care of the dealers. Now hand over the footage.
Thanks, Jensen. Listen, I know it's not something you did from the bottom of your heart, but still, you saved my ass. Here's your footage.
Anything I can do for you?
Listen, Tyndall, I know you're trying to do the right thing. But we have to do things by the book, or we'll just have chaos. I'll put you in contact with someone inside Seraph Industries. They may be able to get you neuropazine for those who need it.
Seriously? You'd really do that? Wow. I never would have expected this from you, Jensen. I really appreciate this. Tell Carell I'm sorry.
Okay. But the side quest is not quite over yet. Because that would have been too easy. By far. So I think I'm gonna finish it and then call it an episode for today. If only because I don't really have that much time today. But yeah, let's get this done.
Did you get it yet? Adam, please. You have to get that security footage back.
Yeah, there you go.
I got the footage. You owe me one, Tim.
Yeah, you got that right, Jensen. I mean, thank you so much. This is my life I just got back. Listen, I got a hold of a weapon mod. It's not much, but I figured a guy in your line of work could use it.
Well, depends if I can use it.
Listen, I know you were trying to do a good thing, and I respect that. But you should do it through proper channels. Next time you might not get this lucky.
Yeah, you're right, Adam. I know you're right. Listen, thanks again.
That wasn't that bad. I guess there might be one more thing I can do. There is that anti-augmentation terrorist leader who wanted to talk to me. Because he still owes me one for sparing him, so I might as well do that right now. Before I call it an episode for today. Provided I can find him. But if I remember correctly, he should be somewhere back here. Well, there are his bodyguards, and there is he.
I see you got my message, Cabrón.
Sanders. You're taking a risk meeting this close to Seraph headquarters.
Same risk as you, considering you're the one who let me go. But I don't plan to stick around that long.
Yeah? So what's this about?
I did some house cleaning after the plant. And I turned up some intel on that gearhead motherfucker who used me and my brother. Chink left the pocket secretary behind. Don't say who he was working for, but it's got access codes, names, shit like that.
Why are you giving it to me?
Maybe I don't like feeling like I owe you. Or maybe I figured I'd send a snake to kill a snake. Take or to leave it, pendejo. Either way, my debt is paid.
Indeed, which means next time we're gonna see him, which is only about at the end of the game, I think. We ain't gonna meet as friends. But that's fine. He repaid his debt, so I'm not going to kill him. If only because his bodyguards are with him. It would only be more trouble than it would be worth. But yeah, he gave us a PDA. Was it that one? I think it was. Yes, actually. Yep, you can read it. Gets us 2 access codes, which is pretty good. But yeah, nah, I'm gonna stop for today. So as you all know, this is Let's Play Deus Ex Human Revolution. I am your German snob. I hope you'll join me again next time. Maybe we'll get to do something a bit more substantial then. Until then, we'll be seeing you. Ciao.